Hey Warriors, I don't know if you heard, but I've decided to self-publish my debut novel, The Lost Girl, A Neverland Story, by the end of this year. Why did I decide to self-publish instead of trying to publish with a big publisher? Let's talk about it. Allison here, and besides being a creative warrior that helps you fight for your creativity, I am also a writer and author on my very own publishing journey as we speak. I currently have 2 books of short stories available on Amazon, but I am working hard to publish my novel, The Lost Girl. To make sure I set myself up for success, I'm following the process laid out in the book, Published: The Proven Path from Blank Page to 10,000 Copies Sold. Because yeah, I want to sell 10,000 copies of my book. Duh. I am going to go through Chandler Bolt's book chapter by chapter and document my journey and how his principles and strategies work for me. And hopefully by the time I publish, I am set up to be a bestseller. If you want to follow along on this journey and see if these tips can help you on your publishing journey, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Also, comment below and tell me where you are on your publishing journey and tell me all about your book. Let's do this together. So a lot of writers decide to self-publish after a long, frustrating experience trying to query agents and getting rejected again and again. Self-publishing just felt like the right choice for me and this book. Chandler goes over some of the differences between self-publishing and traditional publishing in chapter 3 of his book, Published. And obviously he's a little biased toward the self-publishing path. Their business model is helping people self-publish, but he also knows the industry and his points are valid. Here are a few reasons that I chose to self-publish. Reason 1, you keep more of your money. When you self-publish, you will keep way more of the money that your book earns than you would with traditional publishing. For example, on Amazon, you keep 60 to 70% of the list price. At a traditional publisher, you keep 5 to 8%. And not to quote Joey Lawrence here, but whoa, that was a really bad impression, I think. These numbers will vary based on the length and type and cost of your book and where you self-publish, but damn, that's a huge difference. Now, you might be thinking, well, the publisher will do a lot of the work, so they deserve to keep more of the money, right? But these days, that's not true. And it leads in to reason number 2 why I'm self-publishing. You still have to do most of the work. These days, traditional publishers only do things like marketing and booking appearances and designing and getting merch for their most well-known authors, the ones guaranteed to bring in the most money. If you're a new author or just less well-known than Stephen King, you're probably not going to get a lot of help from your publisher. Now, this isn't always going to be the case. There's always going to be an exception, but this is just what I've seen and heard from a lot of different authors. So don't take it as gospel, just take it as learned experience. You're going to have to do a lot of the work to market yourself, which is one of the hard truths about writing that we talked about in a previous video. You're gonna have to buy your own merch, create and buy your own ads, post on social media, all the things that you would have to do as a self-published author. So if you have to do all of those things anyway, I'd prefer to keep as much of the book sales as possible. But that's just me. You're also expected to have your own audience. They don't just hand you one when you sign your deal. In fact, it's one of the things they will ask you when deciding to sign you. What have you done to build an audience? What will you do to help sell your book? Reason number 3, I'm self-publishing. You own your work. When you self-publish, you own 100% of your work, which means you are 100% in control. That can be kind of scary, but it can also be empowering. I don't know all the specifics of exactly what gets sold over to a publisher when you sign the contract, and it will vary based on your contract. But I know that they then own your work and can then make decisions about your work, about what to do with that work. And I don't know about you, but I don't like that. This was a huge factor for me in making my decision. Well, there are things in my story that I'm willing to change based on the market and readers and feedback. I couldn't stomach the idea of someone else owning my story, my words, or my characters, and being able to make choices about them without me, which a publisher probably wouldn't do, but they could. By self-publishing, I stay in control of my story, which frankly sold me on the whole thing. And when you self-publish, you can move at your own pace. When I decide I want to do something, I want to do it like yesterday. So when I knew that I was ready to publish The Lost Girl, I didn't want to wait years and years and possibly years and years. Because if you're trying to publish through a traditional publisher, it can take years. You have to query agents, which can take a long time. Then that agent, once you get signed, has to shop your book and find a publisher that wants it, which can also take a long time. And then the publisher has to publish the book, which can take a couple of years. That's a long time. And yeah, that wasn't gonna happen for me. When I queried one agent and it took me a few months to get a response, I was done. Yeah, I'm impatient. But I've been waiting to publish my book my entire life. I didn't want to wait any longer. When you self-publish, you can publish as soon as you have all the pieces in place. Yes, it's going to take some time to put all those pieces in place, and it will vary based on how much time you're able to dedicate to your book and the things you need to do to publish, but you're in control of your time and your pace. I decided I wanted to publish this year, and because I'm self-publishing, that's possible. I have control over the date. If you want to get updated on the release date of The Lost Girl once I pick one, make sure to sign up for my newsletter using the link in the description below. There's no way that I would have been able to publish within a year if I tried to go the traditional publishing route. I'm doing it myself. Chandler digs into more specifics and talks about more differences between traditional publishing and self-publishing in his book. So if you want those, make sure to check it out. You can get the link from the description below. But those are the reasons that I decided to self-publish my book. I am not totally disregarding the benefits of using a traditional publisher because there are plenty. But that's not what this video is about. So if you're looking to self-publish a book, check out Published. And if you want to continue to follow my journey, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you're eager to get writing so that you have something to self-publish, grab a writing sprint from the end of this video. Now go fight for your creativity.